Hey folks, do you like to work on your own equipment at home and customize it, tweak it to get it to fit you exactly? Bowtech may have the most user-friendly bows of 2024. Hey everybody, this is PJ Riley from Lancaster Archery Outdoors on a sunny, steamy fall day here in October that we want to tell you about the brand new flagship hunting bows, two of the flagship hunting bows from Bowtech for 2024. We have the Bowtech Core SS and the Core SR. Two very similar bows in one respect, but also they're going to give you different performances. So what I'm holding here is the Core SS. This is going to be a 31.5-inch bow. The Core SR is going to be a 33-inch bow. This bow here, the SS, that stands for super smooth. SR stands for speed refined, so that lets you know the SS here is going to be a little bit more of a shooter-friendly experience, a little bit easier on the draw cycle, not quite as fast. The SR, that's going to be your performer. You're going to get your highest speeds there. Brace height is 6 1/4 on the SS. It's going to be 6 inches on the SR. Obviously, that's where you get that speed. So, but outside of the axle to axle length and the brace heights, the two bows share a ton of, well, basically all of the same technologies. So I'm going to run through them here on the SS because they are identical for what I'm about to talk about. So first off, I mentioned these may be two of the most user-friendly bows that you're going to have at home. There is a ton of adjustments that you can do in tuning these bows where you do not need a bow press. So we'll run through those for you. And two of the features on this bow are new this year. We saw them on target bows from Bowtech last year. They brought them over to their hunting bows this year, which I'm sure is gonna please a lot of people. But the Core SS, so we're gonna have a draw length range. It's gonna be a rotating mod from 26 to 31 inches on this bow here. And you know, as Bowtech has done in the past, is they have what they call the flip disc. So regardless of which bow you have, you're gonna get two different performances out of it. And this module here, you can see it says flip disc, and I have it on the comfort setting. So this is the easiest drawing setting when I have the module on comfort. If I flip it over, it's gonna say performance. Now I'm gonna get to those speeds and the draw cycle is going to be just a little bit stiffer. Obviously that speed has to come from somewhere. So on the comfort setting, the SS is super smooth, just as it says at full draw. When you flip it over to performance, now you're gonna notice a little spike at the very end of the draw cycle that you're gonna have to get over, just a little bit of extra effort. Again, that's for that speed. You get one bow, two different performances out of it. Now, some other features that we have here. We'll talk about one that they've had, which is the deadlock. So this is Bowtech's system, super ingenious, super user-friendly. What we got here is a locking screw right there, and then you're gonna have a drive screw in the axle. So what you're doing, you're gonna just turn your Allen key, and what that does is it moves that cam left and right. This, the cam, it sits on sort of like a threaded post on top of the axle. So as you turn, you know, it moves along the threads, left or right. Super easy. You don't need a bow press. You know, you're paper tuning, you take a shot, oh, left tear, okay. I'm gonna give a couple twists to the deadlock, move that cam over, take another shot, see if I clean that hole up. Again, no bow press needed. What's new for this year on the hunting bows that we saw last year on the target bows is this device right here. It's called Time Lock, and I'll flip it around to show you. It's this, you can see where that cable connects here. So you're doing your timing. You check your timing and you notice that the top cam is fast, that it's hitting before the bottom cam. Well, normally you'd have to put the bow in a press. You're gonna twist the top cable, check it again, you know, take it out of the press, see if your timing is good. With Time Lock, you don't have to do that. You don't need the bow press. You're gonna see a locking screw right there, and then in here is your drive screw. So as we mentioned, top cam hitting first. So what I would do is turn the drive screw so that I would bring the cable out. Same thing. What I'm doing is shortening the cable in essence to rotate that cam a little bit. So that's how you're gonna affect your timing to get this in, to get the cams into time. Again, no bow press needed. You just turn that, move that cable up or down depending on what you need to do, and that's how you're gonna get your timing in. So super user-friendly there. So Bowtech is all about the locking systems, and of course they've had this for a while now. They have their deadlock pocket system. So what we got here, nice wide limbs. We've got bolts on each side that are locking the limbs to the upper part of the pocket. Then we come down here and we have a set screw here. That is locking the anchor. You know, this is where your limb bolt goes through. So you are locking the pocket to the riser. What it's doing is pinching right here. This is where your limb bolt goes into. So when you lock it in place, you're locking the entire pocket to the riser. Can't move unless you loosen that bolt. So in other words, if you want to change the poundage on your bow, you're gonna have to start by loosening this bolt. Then you can loosen your limb bolt, and then you come back, screw that back in, lock it in place. Again, nothing will move on the Bowtech limb pocket. So speaking of the limb bolts and draw weight, both of these bows are going to be available in peak draw weights of 50, 60, 70 pounds. All right, a new feature we wanted to tell you about for Bowtech this year on both the SS and the SR is this right here. This little hole that goes through the riser. This is where Bowtech is going to have their what they call center mass sight technology. So you're going to have, there's going to be some sights that you can mount through the riser rather than on the outside. I don't have one of the sights yet, but we wanted to be sure to tell you about it. So if you don't like to mount a sight on the side here, you know, you want to have an integrate rest and you want to have your sight mounted through the riser. Center mass sight technology. That's what Bowtech has here. And we know there will be some black gold sights available very shortly that will have the special sight arm that goes in there. Standard dovetail is not going to work. You have to have the sight arm that matches Bowtech specs here. Center mass, that's going to be the word that you're going to look for. So whatever sights come out that adapt to that, they'll have to have the center mass sight arm. And the Bowtech, what you're going to get with both of the bows is you're going to get what they call their orbit dampeners. You're going to get 2 of them. Those are just vibration dampeners. You can put them, there's many places, lots of threaded places all over these bows where you can attach them just to kill some vibration. You can even stack them one on top of the other, but that's Bowtech's proprietary system, the orbit dampeners. Now coming down the riser to the shelf. So you're going to want to mount a rest. You can see obviously here I've got a bolt-on rest and I've got 2 bolts in there. So that is super secure, more secure than 1 bolt because you can't pivot that up and down. So if you want to use 2 bolts, you can. Or what they have in here, they have the dovetail for the integrated mount system. So if you've got an integrate style rest and you like that type of rest, you can use that on either of the core bows. And then the other new feature that we said Bowtech brought over from their target bows is right here, we have the grip lock. So the grip lock, you can see exactly what it does. I can change the angle of this grip. I can have this running flat, or if I like a higher wrist, I can back this out. And how this works is you've got a locking screw there and a locking screw here. Right here is your drive screw. So what you do is loosen both of the locking screws and then you're going to drive that screw in and that's going to push the grip backwards, and then you lock it when you get it where you want it. So again, you know, other bows, you may have to buy extra grips, you know, if you want a different feel, if you don't like the angle of the stock grip, if you want to get a different feel, you have to go buy it. With the grip lock on these core bows, you can just change it, get it to wherever you want it. So it's like having a bunch of different grips that you're gonna get, and you can set it exactly how you want it. There it is. All right, so shooting these bows. As I mentioned, they're two very different shooting experiences, and I actually set them up differently. I set up the SS, the super smooth, in the comfort setting. I set up the SR, speed redefined, with the performance setting. That's gonna be your speed bow, so I set it up in the most aggressive format to see how it shoots. And what I noticed with the SS, hey, let's be honest here, I'm getting older. My shoulders are getting older, got a little bit of arthritis. Bows that draw super smooth, I really like those. And the SS, it aims ridiculously well. So I always come out and shoot these bows at 20 yards, get my 20-yard pin. I want to see how it shoots and holds at 20. And then I come out and shoot it at 50 or 60 yards, depending where we're standing, just to see how it does at distance. Can I hold that pin steady? Are my arrows grouping at distance? That's important to me. And so with the SS, man, I was able to stack them in there out at 60 yards. Now with the Core SR, again, set on that performance setting. You can see that right there, flip disc on performance. This one is aggressive. Right at the back end, there is a definite hump that you have to get over. What I found is after drawing it a couple times, then I knew what to expect. It gets easier. First time, not gonna lie, it was a little bit rough. But as most things with archery, you just get used to it a couple times. It's not that bad for a speed bow. And this one I was able to hold on target as well. And I did notice this bow really spits them out there. So on the performance setting, the Core SR has an IBO speed rating of 344 feet per second. The SS is gonna offer 337 feet per second. So not a terrible amount of difference, but you definitely notice it shooting this one in the performance setting. You can just see those arrows really spitting out there. Flight was good. Sometimes I tend to have issues with torque on some bows with some grips. I didn't notice that with either of these bows, that I was able to get a straight line. My arrow flight was good. Just super nice shooting bows. But I think the real benefit of the Bowtechs are today, you know, especially with the 2024 models, are how user-friendly they are and how you can get these bows set up the way you want. And you don't need a ton of tools. You know, of course you are gonna need a bow press in order to put your peep sight in. But you don't need the bow press once you get into the tuning process. That was always something that you had to do. Okay, I got a paper tear. Now I got to go back to the bow press, make my adjustment, come back and check it. With both of these, the Core SS and SR, you can do all your tuning right on the line and you never have to leave. Everything is adjustable, you know, just with Allen keys. And so, you know, here I am with the SR. So all that technology that I talked about on the SS, as I mentioned, it is all the same on here. Grip lock, time lock, deadlock pocket, deadlock cam system, all of that is on both of these bows. All right, so if you want to see the Core SS, the Core SR on our website to see all the configurations, be sure you click the link in the description below. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to click that bell to get notifications whenever we put out new videos. As always, if you have any questions, you can visit us at lancasterarchery.com.